Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you about the latest from Sleep Token. This place will become your tomb, out September 24th on Spine Farm Records. This album has 12 tracks, 52 minutes in length, and this is the band's second full-length studio album. They are a British rock band. Now, as far as the structure goes, I don't think this album has one. At least I didn't find one. I like to feel a sense of continuity from track to track, or at least feel like there's a roadmap that's going to take me from the beginning all the way to the end. This record didn't have that, and because of it, felt very chaotic. It felt very strange at times because songs felt out of place to me. The dynamics that the tracks had didn't fit the place within the tracking listing in which they were. So all of this creates a little bit of muddy waters, and it was really hard for me to navigate through those same waters and understand exactly what was happening around me. So I felt a little bit lost by the lack of structure, or by the lack of a defined structure within this album. Once you move into the soundscape, it's just outstanding. You cannot say anything less than that. It's a record that has a very well defined execution of sound across every single track. The songs live off of the quality that they have, not necessarily how they coexist with one another in the overall design and concept of the album. It's a record that's not pushed or driven by one element. You can't say that this is a guitar-driven album, or that the drums have a predominant role from beginning to end, or synths, or this or that. No, this album lives off of the coexisting parts of all the different instruments coming together, and how these songs are built, and how they're constructed, the atmosphere that they create, and how they're delivered to the listener. You can look at every single element and you'll see that balance. You can look at the acoustic guitars, you can look at the piano, at the synthesizer, vocals, guitars, drums. Everything is there to serve the song. Everything is there as a piece of the puzzle, and not one piece becomes bigger than the other. That is the definition of the overall sound that you can expect from this record. The vocals come in and they feel like they're a little bit more controlled, or at least they give you a little bit more of a path from beginning to end because they're better balanced. They offer a little bit of calm in the C's and the abrupt C's that it is this record, from an emotional perspective and from a musical perspective. So I really like what the vocals feel like, and how they sound and how they come across on this album is definitely a highlight of the record. Outstanding performance, outstanding delivery, really encapsulating what the theme of the song is about, what the lyrical content is about, and transmitting that to the listener with a lot of emotion, with a lot of drive, with a lot of spirit. They felt warm at times, and there was other songs that felt really deprived of emotion as well. But there's a little bit of emotion when emotion doesn't exist, and that's exactly what came across with this record, song in and song out. Overall, the album has incredible soundscape. It creates incredible atmospheres from track to track, but it's an album to me that doesn't work well because it doesn't give me a sense of control or understanding exactly what's in front of me. When I look at the title of the record, This Place Will Become Your Tomb, that's exactly how I felt about this album. I felt like I was getting deeper and deeper within the record with every passing song, and it was becoming harder and harder for me to come out of that album. I was getting deeper within my own tomb, if you will. So because of that, the album doesn't really resonate with me from a playability perspective of sitting down and listening to it from beginning to end, but the quality of the individual tracks is undeniable. Once you talk about individual tracks, there are three that really touched a nerve as far as I'm concerned, and I want to start off with Atlantic, the opening track on the album, a song that threw me for a loop because I would never expect this song to be an opening track on any album. So that tells you a little bit of the volatility that you can expect with this record. The song starts off very stripped down, piano and vocals, and that is pretty much the meat and bones of this track. The piano is the launch path that pushes the vocals into a different plateau and allows them to really shine throughout this whole track and carry the song from beginning to end. When you get towards the end part of the track, the song becomes a little bit heavy. There's a jolt of heaviness. The guitars, drums come in. The volume extends, becomes a little bit bigger, and then the song dies out again, going back into a more melancholic approach of the piano and vocals, allowing this track to go absolutely full circle with this jolt of energy towards the end of it. Next, you have Hypnosis, which is the second track on this record. I also really enjoy this song because the guitar and drum sound, while not being heavy, it really filled in all the empty spaces as the track gets started. You can't really find an opening, a crack within the soundscape of this track as things progress. Then as the track moves along, it starts to morph, it starts to pick up steam, almost like a snowball effect. It just keeps gathering more and more momentum. It starts to become bigger and bigger, heavier, more volume, both musically and vocally. The vocals grow, and then the vocals grow with a lot of backing vocals behind it. And I thought that was a very interesting element because the sound is becoming bigger, is becoming heavier, but you don't want to change the vocals too much. That creates a shift, a complete shift in terms of where this song is going. So by adding backing vocals to it, you're able to increase the volume, and you're able to make the vocals sound heavier without actually going with heavy vocals on top. Then it abruptly ends with a melancholic end, but I felt like that was the needed end for a track that has this sort of growth, that has this sort of crescendo. Last but not least, you have High Water, a synth-driven track that has the vocals on top of it. That's how it starts. So you feel the synths, you feel them there, the vocals are there with them, and then some heaviness comes into the picture, and the synths dropped into the background. They never go away in this song. You always feel like they're somewhere there because you can hear a little bit of it here and there. But when the song becomes heavier, the synths drop into the backdrop as a layer. When that heaviness dissipates, the synths come back on top of it with the vocals as well, and you have these ebbs and flows. So it's a song that has peaks and valleys, making it very robust, very dynamic, very interesting at the same time, very engaging. So I really like this approach of expanding, contracting. It works really well for this track, for the dynamic that it has. This is it, Sleep Token. This place will become your tomb, out September 24th on Spinefarm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.